guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how influencers, Instagrammers and bloggers can work with brands on paid and unpaid collaborations. I'm going to talk to you guys about what stage you can actually start pitching for paid work, how to cold pitch brands, how to prepare your Instagram for pitching, and the importance of networking. But I'm not just going to give my own personal opinion and experience working with brands and tourism boards. I'm also going to call up a few people to get their opinion on how bloggers and Instagrammers can work with brands. If you guys are new to my channel, hi, I'm Janet, and this new channel is called Social Media Growth Hacks. It is all about growing your Instagram, your Facebook, your blog, and your YouTube, and hopefully making some money along the way. So if you want to see more videos like this on how to grow your social media, be sure to subscribe below. I'm going to start by listing some of the things you need to keep in mind before you actually start pitching brands. So if you are a content creator, these are the things that you need to think about before you start pitching brands for paid collaborations. Number one is, what is your niche? Is it obvious to new people coming to your profile what your niche is? When they land on your profile, will they know straight away, oh, this girl is about luxury travel. This girl is about fitness. This guy is a professional photographer. What is your profile about? What is your blog about? What is your Instagram about? Because if you're pitching brands and then they come to your profile, they're going to want to know straight away what your profile is about. The reason they want to know this is that they want to know if you fit with any of the campaigns that they're working on. So for example, if you're a family travel blogger, and there is a destination that is looking to work with family travel bloggers and attract families to their destination or resort, if they land on your profile and it's full of pictures of family travel, they're going to know that you are the influencer they need to work with. However, if it's a bit mix of luxury and family travel and solo travel and budget travel, then maybe they might be a bit confused and they might not pick you as the influencer that they want to work with. Number two is, how engaged is your audience? This is another thing that you need to look at before brands start looking at it. So as you're starting to grow your Instagram, you need to start thinking, how can I engage my audience? How can I get them to comment on my pictures? How can I get them to watch my stories, vote in my polls, reply to my stories, even share your pictures on their Instagram stories? So you need to ask them questions, you need to get them engaged, and hopefully you need to try and build a loyal following that sort of sticks to every word you say and loves you for everything that you do. So they love your vulnerability, they love when you're super real and super raw and share pretty much everything with them. So building a super engaged and loyal audience is key before you start pitching brands. The third thing to think about is your profile professional? So when people land on your profile, do you have a very nicely well-written bio? Do you have your email listed in your profile? Have you changed your Instagram account from a personal one to a business account? This is important so that you can have the analytics of your posts. So how many people are you reaching? How many people are watching your stories? What countries are they coming from? What cities are they coming from? What age are they? These are all things that the brand or tourism board or whatever company you plan to work with are going to want to know. They're probably going to ask for your analytics, and if you don't have a business account, you're not going to be able to show them. Number four is, do you have a media kit and a rate card? So if you're at that stage when you think, okay, I'm ready to start pitching brands, I want to start doing paid work, I need to prepare myself a media kit. So your media kit is going to show your reach, where your followers are from, examples of the work that you've done in the past. It's going to have your contact information, and then it's going to have your numbers. So how many followers do you have on Instagram? How many followers do you have on Facebook, on your blog, on your YouTube, etc. The next thing is your rate card. So often people will have a bronze, a silver, and a gold package, depending on what you want to offer. So those different packages are going to have different rates. So it could be €1,000, €2,000, €3,000, or much higher or much lower, depending on how many followers you have. Originally, I was going to sit here and just tell you how I've worked with brands, the type of gigs that I've landed and how I've landed them. But sometimes I guess I don't really know why I landed the gigs that I landed. So I thought I would call up some PR agencies and ask them for their opinion. Why do they pick the people that they work with, and what sort of requirements are they looking for when they're looking for an Instagram or a blogger to work with on a paid campaign? So the first person I've actually called is Claire, and Claire works for a big communications company in London. So she's worked with lots of different brands and tourism boards, and she has some really great advice and tips for you guys. So let's give her a call.
One of my clients, which is a European country tourism board, when they look at which influencers to work with, luckily it isn't always about having a massive audience, but it's normally about fitting a very particular aesthetic or particular theme. For this tourism board, they work around 3 or 4 key themes. So for example, family travel is not a theme, and they are not going to be approaching family travel bloggers, or the influencers they approach will be quite niche in that theme and will be able to kind of create content that fits a very certain aesthetic, which is kind of a little bit, I don't know how to say it, earthy, a little bit indie, not too bright. It's kind of it's a very particular theme. So for this tourism board in particular, they won't be looking for a lot of vlog style videos. They'll want more content that's more around a feature film, or just quite creative, more about the destination and the place and a feeling, kind of to evoke certain senses. And I work with another tourism board that would love the kind of vlog where people are chatting into the camera, talking about the experience, a little bit more sort of haphazard and a bit crazy and chaotic, like the destination.
How would people figure that out? Say if I wanted to pitch either of those tourism boards.
I would look at the content that's been reposted, or sometimes the tourism board has paid to use that content and they'll tag the influencer or the content creator, and that's how you can see the kind of content they've been working with. The same thing goes for an Instagram feed, but then the blog is always important. So for this tourism board, they'll never work with an influencer that doesn't have a blog, for example. It's not just about the Instagram, and they might have a slightly smaller Instagram following but a really good blog. And then for another tourism board I work with, like I said, they're really open to quite chatty vlogs. The content doesn't have to be so polished or in such a way that it's actually a really colourful destination. They're really happy for the colourful kind of imagery. That being said, for that tourism board in particular, we don't actually reach out to many influencers. We get a lot of reactive requests and we kind of go. So numbers aren't absolutely crucial. With an Instagram following, I'd say for both those tourism boards, it wouldn't really work with someone under about 12 or 15,000. In terms of a blog, we do ask if we can to get a screenshot of monthly unique users, and we really hope that bloggers are honest. Once we have those numbers, we then sort of make a little human assessment of it all. It's not just about the numbers. So like I said, we'll go onto the blog, we'll check how many blog posts there are, how well structured the blog is it written for SEO? Are they looking at this really professionally, or is it just a side hobby? I would say professionalism is also really important. So the easier someone is to work with, both in the run up to organising a trip or creating content, and the speed at which it goes up, basically the more agreeable they are, the more sort of happy to please and professional, the easier it is. Some bloggers deliver reports after trips. That's amazing. And sometimes they provide extra insights that we can't get from our side. And also bloggers that share case studies from other things they've done, that's really great as well. I think networking is so key. I mean, the best way to work out how to work with brands is by reaching out to them, and obviously that can be done over email, and cold emails are not a bad thing. But if you have met that brand before, or you have the opportunity to meet them at something like WTM, it's literally invaluable, because not even about pitching yourself, invaluable opportunity to ask how they work. You can get answers that are far longer than if someone was typing an email. You can ask them, how did things go this year? What kind of things were you working on this year? Once you sort of build rapport with someone, almost as a friend, it's so much easier to translate that into paid opportunities. But yeah, I think it's really crucial to find out how every brand works that you want to work with. Don't instantly assume they work with influencers. Sometimes they don't, and some still don't pay. Some pay for certain types of work like video, and some don't. Some of the brands I work with that have a plan to only work with, 12 influencers throughout the whole year, and others are open to whatever comes their way. Every sort of PR team will have multiple colleagues all working on different clients. Ask for a client list from one of them and say, by the way, I saw you looked after X, Y, and Z. I'd love to be put in touch with the person that looks after this client. Each of these clients might have their own mailing list, so you might need to be specific. Reach out through Instagram as well. That's quite a key way to get in touch. The biggest thing I wanted to say is there are just some brands just work in so many different ways. It's just really important to know how that brand works. You're almost like pitching into into an abyss if you haven't really found out what they do and how they do it. And also just check that they work with influencers first. I still have a couple of clients that don't work with influencers at all.
That was pretty amazing. Like, Claire has so much to offer, and I hope that those tips helped you guys. I'm also going to give Dan a call. So Dan is based in Portugal. He's also a blogger and he works for a brand. So he kind of sees both sides of the situation. He's going to give us some advice on how to work with brands, how to pitch, and if there's any room for micro influencers in 2020.
It's much easier to pinpoint where people go wrong in trying to pitch rather than going right. The biggest tip to give is that when you approach someone, especially in your cold pitching, it's you asking for partnership, especially if it's you haven't worked with anyone before, is to show your value. I mean, showing numbers in a media kit and that is one thing. But for me, if I have to convince my boss or the person in charge of the budget to spend money on marketing, I need to tell them, what is this person bringing to the table? What can they offer? If you haven't done any partnership before, I still think you should have a case study of a partnership. And even if that's just a project you've done self-funded, you've been to a destination, pull all of those stats together and be like, I went to Sri Lanka for a 1-week holiday, but here's the articles I wrote, here's how many page views they have, here's some screenshots of comments from people on Instagram or YouTube saying, wow, I love this, I'm going to stay here now, because that will show the value you can bring. And you might not have been paid to do that. So pitching to suitable brands and less pictures, but more time spent building that, even if it's creating a different media kit for each pitch, really helps. And you might not be perfect for that specific thing, but if it's something like us where we work with a few different clients, we might remember you 6 months down the line when we're having another chat and be like, yep, that person was ideal for me. For me, straight away, the biggest rookie mistake people make is they don't find the right person to email. Sending someone a message on Facebook when they're 99% of the time going to turn around and be like, please email me. By the time the email comes, they're probably already going to be a bit annoyed and feel you're not being professional, I guess, in the delivery. I would automatically look to my network first of people that I've met at the events I've been to over the past couple of years, like WTM, whether it's my friends or it's just people I've met in passing or friends of a friend. I'll try and get recommendations from a friend firstly. Second resort would be going to sites like Trav Media and putting out a general call for interest, and also on Twitter using PR request or journal request. I know everyone says find a niche, but at the beginning it's even more important. Once you get to a big stage, you can be a lot more general in your content. But if you're pitching me about travel and your last 4 YouTube videos was cooking, lifestyle and fashion, I'm not going to feel like your audience right for what we do. So I think niche is super important. And if you can get even tighter than that, for example, often saw better responses from people with 1,000 followers than people with 20,000 followers.
So you have Okimono, which is your own company, and you make kimonos. So my question is, you have worked with influencers, or if you're planning to work with influencers in the future, how would you go about picking them?
So I did work with one big Instagrammer. I am launching basically 2 new collections in the summer. Basically now I'm doing the selection of the influencers. What matters to me right now as a brand is basically who they are as a person. So if I personally relate to them, and then if my brand could relate to them. Then secondly, their demographics. For these 2 summer campaigns, I want to start off with Romanian influencers because that's where the majority of my buyers are from. I would rather specifically detail everything on my own, like go through not through all their posts, but like majority of their posts, see how many comments, see if they're, fake comments, see if they're like what they put on the stories, how well they put up a story. So I do a lot of that work rather than just read media kits.
I just wanted to go through some takeaways from all of these expert calls. So things that you should consider if you're looking to pitch brands. So the first thing I would say is that you need to find the point of contact. So whether that's an Instagram DM or an email, be sure you are contacting the right person. And then you're going to want to send your media kit and your rate card if you are moving forward with a collaboration. Before you pitch them, you should also ensure that your brand or your niche fits what they're looking for. That's what Claire was talking about a little bit, that it's really important to see the kind of people that they work with, the kind of platforms they're looking for, and the niche before you go ahead and pitch pitch them. It should also be noted that not all brands and not all tourism boards are actually working with influencers. Some of them are quite traditional and still only want to work with print journalists. So I have seen that a lot, and it's definitely still a thing. So don't presume that all brands are working with influencers, because some of them are not. And the last thing I would like to say is to be a really good communicator. Before you make contact, after they send the product, during the campaign and after, be sure to stay in touch with them, give them reports, give them feedback on what you're doing, when you're going to post, when the results are going to come in, and then be sure to send like some analytics once the campaign is over, so they know how many people were reached and how well your content did. So being an expert communicator is essential when working with brands. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful for some of you who want to work with brands in the future. If you would like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow for a video on how to grow your followers on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and let's grow our social media together.